A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a surprising twist in British politics, Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK, has written an open letter to Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, urging him to allow the appointment of peers to the House of Lords from his party. This request comes amidst growing concerns about the democratic representation within the upper chamber of Parliament, where Farage argues that parties with fewer members of Parliament, MPs, hold a disproportionate number of seats. Currently, Reform UK boasts 4 MPs and controls 10 councils in England, yet it finds itself without any representation in the House of Lords. The Prime Minister traditionally has the sole discretion to appoint members to the Lords, and while there is an established convention for opposition leaders to suggest candidates, there are no constitutional obligations mandating such appointments. A spokesperson from Downing Street clarified that the appointment process adheres to long-standing conventions and is guided by the House of Lords Appointments Commission. They emphasized that while political parties can make recommendations for peerage nominations, the ultimate decision rests with the Prime Minister. Sources familiar with the matter noted that although the main opposition party is typically invited to nominate peers, the process lacks rigid rules, underscoring the Prime Minister's authority in the decision-making process. Farage's letter highlights a perceived imbalance, pointing out that parties like the Green Party, Plaid Cymru, and the Ulster Unionist Party collectively hold 13 peers, while his party, despite significant electoral support, has none. The Liberal Democrats, with 76 peers, are also mentioned, as they have fewer votes than Reform UK in previous elections. Farage argues that the current representation does not reflect the seismic shifts in British politics, and he insists that it is time to rectify this democratic disparity. In his correspondence, Farage described his request for peer appointments as modest, but did not specify whom he would nominate if given the opportunity. His party's recent successes in local elections and a narrow victory in a by-election have led him to assert that Reform UK now serves as the main opposition party. Notably, Sir Keir Starmer recently appointed 30 new Labour peers, including notable figures such as his former Chief of Staff, Sue Gray. The Conservatives and Liberal Democrats also made their appointments, adding to the ongoing debate about the composition of the House of Lords. Farage's call for reform is particularly striking given his previous stance advocating for the abolition of the House of Lords altogether. In 2018, he suggested replacing it with an elected Senate, particularly after peers voted against the government's Brexit deal, arguing that the chamber was filled with individuals he deemed unfit for the role. His shift in stance raises eyebrows, as he now seeks to fill the very chamber he once criticized vehemently. Speculation surrounds potential candidates for peerage from Reform UK, with names like former Tory and Whitcomb, Reform Chairman Zia Yusuf, and party donor Nick Candy being floated. The juxtaposition of Farage's past and present positions on the House of Lords reflects the evolving landscape of British politics, where party dynamics and public sentiment are constantly shifting. As the debate over the House of Lords continues, the implications of Farage's request could have far-reaching consequences for the future of both his party and the upper chamber of Parliament. With the political landscape in flux, the next steps taken by Prime Minister Starmer and the broader implications for the House of Lords remain to be seen. Farage's insistence on addressing the democratic disparity highlights the ongoing tensions within the UK's political framework as parties vie for representation and influence in a rapidly changing environment. The coming weeks may prove crucial as discussions surrounding peer appointments unfold, potentially reshaping the dynamics of the House of Lords and the role of Reform UK within it. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.